Tonight in Indianapolis, something shifted. The Indiana Fever didn't just close the regular season, they made a statement. Down a raft of starters riding a wave of grit and unexpected heroes, they knocked off the WNBA's top team, the Minnesota Lynx, 83-72. On screen, crowd shots, fans standing, signs for Clark and Fever. This was more than a win. It was validation of a culture, of depth, and yes, of a moment of personal payback that had been simmering since their last meeting. Indiana closes the regular season at 24-20, their first winning record in 9 years. And they did it with one hand tied behind their back. The roster that started the year was whittled down by injuries. Caitlin Clark sidelined with a groin injury that ultimately ended her season. Sophie Cunningham out with an MCL tear. Sydney Colson with an ACL, and others lost to a host of ailments that would have sunk most teams. When your marquee rookie is watching in a polo from the bench, when your rotation becomes a patchwork of hardship signings and emergency minutes, you either fold or you fight. The Fever chose to fight. Kelsey Mitchell answered the bell. She didn't simply pick up shots, she carried the team. Night after night, she poured in points, often over 20, shouldering ball-handling duties and becoming the Fever's primary scoring engine. With defenses keyed to her, she still found ways to create and finish. And Aaliyah Boston, steady, physical, relentless, became Indiana's backbone inside. Over the last 10 games, she averaged around 15 points, while pulling down more than 8 rebounds per contest, anchoring a defense that could have collapsed under pressure. Role players turned into difference makers. Odyssey Sims, a recent hardship signing, erupted for 15 in this game. Ariel Powers threw dagger threes when the lead wavered. Natasha Howard filled gaps all over the floor, switching, rebounding, hitting timely shots. This wasn't luck. It was a roster learning to breathe as one. And then there was the moment everyone had been waiting for. Personal, raw, and impossible to ignore. Weeks earlier, during their previous meeting, Lexie Hull had been struck by Kayla McBride's elbow. The play ended in confusion and a technical called on Hull, a call that left Fever fans outraged. The clip circulated, and the moment became an emotional thread that followed the team back to this rematch. Tonight, when Hull and McBride faced off again, the arena held its breath. What happened next was simple basketball. A crossover, a hesitation, a step left that sent McBride off balance into the floor. The crowd erupted. Viral karma, if you will. But for Hull, it was more than a clip. It was reclamation. Indiana opened like a team determined to set a tone. A 10-0 run to start, quick ball movement, pressure defense that turned Minnesota's reputation into missed opportunities. The Lynx were cold from deep. Just 2 made threes the whole night, and Indiana pounced. By halftime, the Fever held a comfortable lead and never looked back. This wasn't a fluke. It was a controlled, collective performance in the face of long odds. And even with Caitlin Clark off the floor for the year, her presence mattered. Cameras caught Clark calling plays from the sideline, waving teammates into spacing, even joking with officials. Her voice remained part of the on-court fabric, an emotional lift when they needed it most. This win gave Indiana momentum heading into the playoffs, a chance to climb the ladder and, more importantly, proof that they belong. When a team survives cascading injuries and still finds a winning identity, you stop counting them out. A higher seed matters, even a little, because matchups can define a postseason. But perhaps the bigger story is cultural. The Fever arrived at a new standard by refusing to be defined by absence. Tonight was about more than a final score. It was about comeback, character, and a single play that crystallized a team's season. Lexie Hull's crossover wasn't just highlight reel. It was the perfect capsule for how this group has responded to doubt, with toughness, unity, and a little bit of poetic justice. If you felt that electricity, drop some love for Lexie in the comments, like the video, and subscribe for deeper playoff coverage. This feels like the start of something real in Indianapolis, and the postseason promises to be worth watching. Narration lines throughout the script from intro VO through closing VO. These are the main storytelling beats. Deliver these as the primary voice track.